Okay, right now I cleared everything out. There's nothing on the hard drives. They're not formatted. These RAID configurations are before formatting because they don't even have the operating system loaded. The DOS stands for this operating system, and Windows Server runs in the DOS shell. So the only thing that's running this machine right now is BIOS. That's the internal program, just chip program. That is the controller for the chipsets, and there's a RAID card controller in here, and this is a battery that I will install. It's a new battery for the RAID controller to remember how the RAID is configured. I won't do that until I'm ready to leave this on all the time, because that will kill the RAID if the battery goes down. So this is going to be my primary RAID 1, which is a mirror, and the other 4 hard drives here is going to be the RAID 10, which is going to have parity, striping, and redundancy. So right now, by looking at this, if we use the Control P for page, so Control P, we could see that there's 6 hard drives. The first one starting at 0 to 5, and their status is ready, and you can see the details for each drive on your right hand side. So Control P, okay, and this we could see that we got the BIOS controller enabled, and the BIOS stop error. These are just default settings that came with this machine, the PERK 6, and so that's the general BIOS, RAID BIOS setup. This is just a RAID. So we'll do a Control P again and go back to the first screen. Okay, what we're going to do first is I'm going to configure the RAID 1 first and set that up. And I'm not going to configure the RAID 10 until after I install the operating system. Format those drives. Format the drive. Well, when you install the operating system, it will set the partition and the format. That's why I wanted to do that before I set up the array. And then after you set up the operating system, when you set up the array, you can set up the array drive, partition it, and format it. But during the operating install, after I set up this RAID 1, the operating system, when you load it into the CD-ROM, is going to automatically partition and format these 2 drives, so you can install the rest of the operating system. It will run a RAM TSR program in physical memory first before anything's written to the disk. And the reason being is it has to have full exclusive over the hard drives to format them. So it runs on RAM in the background before these 2 hard drives are formatted, partitioned and formatted. Then it loads the operating system, and the operating system from then on can also partition and format the RAID after we set the RAID 10 up later. So we just do the F2, and we want to create a new VD. We want to select, I'm just using the arrow keys here. I'm just going to push enter, and I'm going to push the arrow keys down to RAID 1, and basically you're using the tab key and the arrow key. So I'm going to tab and select, which is the first drive 0, and I'm going to select the second drive, see where the X is, and that's all I'm going to do. There's two drives, first 2 hard drives first bank, bank 0 and bank 1. So I'm going to tab, as you see I've got those 2 exits, 4 drives remain. So I'm going to tab, that's the size, I'm going to take the default size of that, which is 139 gig. I'm going to label this OS, for operating system. Okay, I'm going to tab to the next. I'm going to select this by enter, and I'm going to use the down arrow, accept these defaults. I'm going to select with the enter key initialize. This will initialize this RAID, and then push the tab key to OK and press OK, and select OK to initialize. It's going to take it doesn't take long for the RAID 1 to initialize. The RAID 10 it does. So at this point you just want to check and make sure by pushing the arrow key down and an arrow key to the right to make sure the 2 hard drives are selected. Push the arrow key to the right, virtual disk, and make sure you have the size as far as the allocation that you have 136 gig. Because these 2 drives are going to be mirrored. So I'm gonna want to save this. So I'm going to press the escape key.